Let's be real. In today's world, finding and keeping great talent is, well, it's everything. So today, we're going to break down the one framework that can give you a serious edge, the employee life cycle. I mean, it's no secret that businesses everywhere are feeling the heat. The whole Great Resignation thing, it really flipped the script, right? It's made it tougher than ever to not only find good people, but honestly, to convince them to stick around.
So that gets you thinking, what if the secret sauce isn't just about winning that initial race to hire someone? What if it's about mastering their entire journey with your company, from the very first hello to the final goodbye? That's the big idea we're diving into.
And this brings us to what you could call the modern talent puzzle. It's not just about finding that one missing piece anymore. It's about understanding how all the different pieces fit together to create this bigger, healthier picture of a company that people actually want to work for.
And to solve this puzzle, a lot of organizations are going back to a classic, but now super relevant model, the employee life cycle. Now, this isn't some brand new idea, but its importance has absolutely skyrocketed as companies are scrambling for ways to keep their best people engaged and on board.
All right, so what does this journey actually look like? Let's map it out. In a nutshell, the employee life cycle is basically your strategic roadmap. It charts out every single important phase of an employee's relationship with your company, literally from the moment they first hear your name all the way through to their last day. And we can break this whole journey down into 5 pretty essential stages. You've got attraction and recruitment, then onboarding, development, retention, and finally, exit and offboarding. And you can see how each stage just flows right into the next, creating one continuous experience.
But why does getting this journey right matter so much? Well, the business case is pretty compelling. A recent IDC survey found that a whopping 85% of leaders agree that a better employee experience directly leads to happier customers and more revenue. So, see? This isn't just some fluffy HR thing, it's a core growth strategy.
And just like any good relationship, it all starts with making a really fantastic first impression. So let's look at those first 2 stages, attraction and recruitment.
I love this quote because it really shows you how much the game has changed. Your company's reputation, your employer brand, is the new starting line. Before a candidate even thinks about applying, they are doing their homework. They're on sites like Glassdoor, checking reviews, just like you check out a restaurant before booking a table.
So what does that mean for you? It means you have to get proactive about shaping that story. You got to showcase your values right there on your website. Gently encourage your happy employees to share what they like. And never, ever forget that your current team, they are your most powerful and authentic brand ambassadors.
Okay, so once you've got their attention, the actual recruitment experience has to be top-notch. This means tailoring your job ads, maybe using video if you're trying to reach Gen Z. It means making your application process dead simple, especially for someone on their phone. And maybe, most important of all, keep communication transparent and on time. That respect goes a really long way.
So, congratulations, you've made the hire. But now comes the really critical onboarding stage. And look, this is so much more than just paperwork. This is your chance to really integrate that new person, to give them the tools, the training, and the guidance they need to feel confident and effective right from day one. A great onboarding really validates their decision to join you.
So that first impression, all the way from attraction to onboarding, that's your foundation. But turning that initial excitement into real long-term commitment, that's all about genuinely investing in your people.
And get this, the power of that investment is just staggering. A LinkedIn survey found that 94% of employees would stay at a company longer if it just invested in their career development. I mean, that taps into a basic human desire, right? The need to grow and get better. When you invest in them, they invest right back in you. It's a huge lever for loyalty.
In this investment, it can take so many different forms. We're talking about things like meaningful mentoring programs, or skill-building workshops, or even supporting people to take external courses. A simple but really effective strategy is just creating a central learning hub on your company intranet, making all these growth opportunities easy for everyone to see and access.
This leads us right into retention. And honestly, this is where we see a major disconnect. A lot of companies just default to focusing on money and those dreaded annual reviews. But what really makes people stay for the long haul is different. Employees crave a real connection to the company's mission, open two-way communication, and a culture where they feel seen and valued for their work.
Okay, so where should you be focusing your energy? On fostering that genuine engagement with the company's purpose. On building a real culture of recognition. I'm talking peer-to-peer shout-outs, things like that. And look, just getting the basics right, making sure your team has modern tools and a comfortable place to do their best work.
All right, and now for the final stage, the one that almost everyone forgets about, but it's just as critical as the beginning, the art of goodbye. You might think that when an employee leaves, that's it, story's over. But check out this data on boomerang employees. One survey found that 20% of workers have actually gone back to a former employer, and another 40% say they'd consider it. A positive exit keeps that door wide open. And that is why a professional, respectful offboarding process is so incredibly valuable. It preserves all that goodwill, it gives you a chance to get some really honest feedback, and it can turn people who leave into future hires, customers, or even brand advocates.
So when you step back and look at the whole picture, the takeaway is pretty crystal clear. Purposefully designing and managing the employee journey at every single one of these stages is how you build a loyal, engaged, and super productive team that gives you a real competitive advantage. So, I'll leave you with a final thought to chew on for your own team or your own organization. Looking at this 5-stage map, which part of your employee's journey needs the most love right now?